Okay.
The idea is they have just set up a match. Of course, Eric Bischoff's not a big fan of Diamond Dallas Page. He just called him DD Puke.
Wow.
That name caught on. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say Tank Abbott now is going to get a title shot against David Arquette tonight here on Nitro.
What a main event.
And here's Mr. Perfect. I mean, Sean Stasiak.
Yeah. Is he taping this?
Yeah, the idea is he's trying to set the Guinness Book of World Record for the most perfect free throws in a row. So I think they're saying on commentary he's going to do 5,000 and something.
How long did this take to shoot? What do you figure?
Oh.
Better question, Tony. Is this shot at the BJCC? I think so.
Yeah, it is. How long did it take to shoot? Jesus. There's two ways to look at it. It took a long time because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, or we just shot it and went to something else because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
That's not general erection, is it?
That is.
That is huge erection right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that on the like Mount Rushmore of worst names in wrestling? Huge erection.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Alex, is it up there for you? Can you think of a worse?
That one's pretty close to being that's pretty horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not great. The Wall, Jerry Toot.
Another. We spent a lot of time talking about him. Did you spend any time with the Wall?
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, just because of my job, I spend a lot more time with talent now than I did back then. And of course, it's probably well known. We talked about it here. I was pretty much absent from all this. As far as I was checked out. Alex, I've told the story before. I don't know if you know this or not. And you would be interested in knowing this because you being a Florida Gator. But one of our last shows, probably our last show at the O'Connell Center.
Yeah.
I was so disenchanted with WCW that I just went out and sat in my rental car all day.
Huh.
In the parking lot.
I probably passed you going in.
You just sat in your car the whole day, Tony?
All day. Yep.
Oh my.
Yeah. Napped. Read a book. Napped. This was before.
It was that bad.
Yeah. I just didn't want to be in there.
What was the town? Do you recall?
Yeah, it was Gainesville, Florida, the O'Connell Center, where the Gators play.
Yeah.
Yeah. The team that won back-to-back national championships, by the way.
Yeah, probably never will again in the NIL era. But that is how college football goes, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So Horace, that's Horace Boulder, right? No, that's Hulk's cousin, nephew,
cousin.
I thought it was nephew this whole time.
Okay, cousin, nephew. Just related.
I thought it was initially Mad Dog Vachon with a tan when I saw the video board, but then I was quickly mistaken because number one, he's wearing a gold chain, and I don't think Mad Dog would have sprung for such attire. And number two, he's taller. So there you are.
Give me a time code that you got, somebody.
Tony, I'm at 25, 20, 21, 22, 23.
So we have seen the best thing that WCW has walk out.
No doubt. Without question. Stacy Keibler is here. And can we all just collectively agree that David Flair is an asshole?
Yes, David Flair can kiss our ass.
Forever and ever. Amen. Hey,
Amen.
Tony, do you think you were crying in your car that day on March 19th, 2001 in Gainesville? Or would that have been a week before the end of WCW or the year before? Because you ran to Gainesville in 2000 and in 2001.
That would have been the week before, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the week before was pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's when we had Jason Jett and Disco Inferno, Shane Helms and Billy Kidman, Bigelow and Stasiak, Canyon and M.I. Smooth, Rick Steiner and Conan. And then we did Lance Storm and Mike Awesome taking on Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo. But you also taped the final ever episode of Thunder, which finished with Scott Steiner and Jarrett against Dustin Rhodes in a handicap match.
Huh.
And then just a week later, you shut it down at the Boardwalk Beach Resort there in Panama City.
Wow.
It's hard to believe that was all those years ago. And take a listen. They're playing Hulk Hogan's old theme, the WCW theme. Here he comes, not in the red and yellow, in the FUNB. And Mark Madden points out on commentary that should have been FUHH. Of course, he's a heel commentator, but what do you think of this new blood version of Hulk Hogan, Alex?
I don't know. It was interesting at the time because not everyone can be Chris Jericho in terms of reinventing yourself as often as he does, right? And we've seen Chris now, the new incarnation of Chris Jericho, the learning tree, working with Hook. So, with Hogan, it was an attempt to rebrand yourself, but it's just difficult because, Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan, right? And, you get into this weird sort of deal where unless Hogan is missing a lot of time and comes back and is fresh, if you're trying to do something on a very regular basis, I think that, it can become stale. But was this the best way? Again, too, at the time, it was to try to, build new talent. So this was supposed to be getting over Mike Awesome, Billy Kidman, and The Wall. Right. Was this the best use of Hulk Hogan? Out of those three, who really had the potential? Maybe Mike Awesome did, to become a star, or at least maybe a semi-main eventer. But other than that, the other two, not so much. I think sometimes too, it's who you invest a talent like Hogan working with. If you want him to pass the torch, well, make sure you're passing it to the right people. And I don't feel like the new blood was really the right people, if you will.
Yeah, well, they weren't ready. I don't think. Mike Awesome. Obviously, we've watched old ECW matches, and we loved him in ECW. But was he ready to be the next big star in WCW? I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
that putting Hulk through a table helps.
So we saw this great promo from Vampiro here, and he's calling out Sting, and he's calling him out in the graveyard. We're actually going to have a graveyard match here on Nitro.
Oh my God. Is this where they go into the water?
In Birmingham.
Spoilers. Hello. I've been waiting 23 years to see this episode, Tony Schiavone. I said this a long time ago. This was the one Nitro I never got to see. And here you are trying to go ahead and spill what's going to be happening. Couldn't you have waited a few more years?
No.
Jeez Louise. By the way, I cannot look at Vampiro and not think of Ed Ferrara yelling, Vampiro! 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 Over and over and over.